Hello, Gemini. Thank you so much for checking out your September 2020 love and relationship reading. Please remember this channel is brand fucking new, so it needs all the support it can get. Please remember to like, to comment, and subscribe, as well as check me out on Instagram at claire.voyant.queen or Twitter at _Claire_voyant. Please remember these messages are general, so they may or may not resonate. Please also remember that energy is vice versa. This could be about you. This could be about your partner. But I cannot wait to get started. Let's go. Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your September 2020 love and relationship reading. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've got my cards. I've got my wine. Let's get started. Let's do it to it. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Okay. Feels like it's been shuffled. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Whoa, okay, that was fast. Cards are coming out fast today. Ooh, time for a love fest. Time for a love fest, Gemini. Actually, everyone is reasonable. They just have their own reasons. And usually it's worth trying to learn what they are to maximize his chances of a full-blown 60s style psychedelic love fest, which is always a good thing. Groovy you, the universe. Oh, wow. Time for a love fest. Let's read it again. Actually, everyone is reasonable, and they just have their own reasons, and usually it's worth trying to learn what they are to maximize chances of a full-blown 60s style psychedelic love fest, which is always a good thing. I have a feeling that there is, whoever you are inquiring about, right? You're coming to this video because essentially there's someone on your mind that you're inquiring about, and you're kind of holding them in your heart, and it feels like you might not be currently seeing eye to eye with someone. It doesn't feel like a full-blown, altercation or conflict. It feels like you're not seeing eye to eye with someone in terms of a nitpicky thing. But it feels like if you start kind of seeing their perspective and seeing their side, there is an unbelievable relationship here for you. Is kind of how it feels. Let's pull some animal spirit cards and we will go from there. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Gemini. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Gemini. Gemini for September of 2020. Okay. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Okay. Gemini, you are the fish. Interesting. I felt like a reference to Pisces while I was shuffling these cards. And as you know, the fish is very prevalent to Pisces. So you might be dealing with a Pisces. You might have Pisces in your chart. Your partner, they are the Panther. Okay. And your emotional connection, we have the Starfish. In your physical connection, we have the elk. Okay. What an odd assortment of cards. This is kind of funny. One thing that I'm already noticing, so just, to paraphrase, to start off with, I'm going to go ahead and read all the descriptions from the book. I feel like you're going to get a lot more information, a lot more narrative, and then I'm going to kind of help you connect the dots. So that's kind of how we're transitioning things moving forward. But one thing that's automatically standing out to me right now is we have a lot of black and white images, right, on these cards. We have the background of the starfish. We have essentially the full card of the fish. We have the elk. We have the full card of the panther, right? A lot of black and white. And orange, right? Do you notice the orange in the spread? The starfish, the moon and the fish, the sun and the elk. We have a sun and we have a moon. I said a sun and a moon, lol, a moon and a sun. But orange seems to be playing a big role in this reading. If you know anything about chakras, you'll know that we have 7 chakras. You'll know that the chakra that vibrates orange would be our sacral, or be our second chakra. Sacral rules a lot of essentially like your sexuality, your sensuality. It rules a lot of like feminine, like reproductive systems, right? It rules like a very much like a nurturing side, a very maternal side. It has a lot to do with compassion and empathy. So we're dealing a lot with like second chakral energy right now, which is very interesting in this connection. That's for sure. Which obviously has a really big relation to love fest, because second chakra is, sex. It's sex. Let's pull the fish. Let's go from there. Nope, I just saw it. Oyster, turtle, frog, otter. How did I just see it? There it goes. The fish. So you are the fish, Gemini. Restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. Movement, movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. Yeah, I feel like what it's asking you here is it's asking you to see things from another perspective, is how it feels. Just like going back to our root card, right? Time for a love fest. Actually, everyone is reasonable. They just have their own reasons. And usually it is worth trying to learn what they are to maximize his chances of a full-blown 60s style psychedelic love fest, which is always a good thing. I have a feeling that there's it feels like there's a little bit of tension in the situation. Like when I said tension, I also just heard sexual tension. It feels like there's tension in this connection, but it feels like it's based on seeing someone's perspective or coming to terms with someone's perspective. Feels like there might be movement, movement, movement. I feel like you're very much in your mind, Gemini. Very much, ooh, that's interesting. The movement, movement, movement thing kind of makes me feel like your mind's going 24/7, right? It feels like you're really kind of stuck in your head and you're kind of cycling. And it feels like there's honestly no grounding happening, right? It feels like you're just kind of in your head. And it's because you really can't understand this person. You really can't understand their perspective in a situation, something of that nature. And it has you stuck in your head is what it feels like. And I have a feeling once we stabilize that kind of head spinning, and once we start seeing things in a different perspective, I feel like there's a lot of love in this connection. A lot of it, right? Psychedelic love fest. Let's keep going and let's read the panther. Burr, 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 burr. Panther energy. Look at that. I just flipped to it. Okay. Annihilation of the unnecessary, purging. The Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc, with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. But after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the Panther's energy journey always leads to a brighter place. Wow. Okay. So for me, this card usually references the Tower card in traditional tarot. And if you know anything about tarot, you'll know that the Tower card is a card of sudden, dramatic change, right? The Tower card only appears when we're stagnant, when something's stuck, when something's not moving, right? When everything's kind of stuck in place. There's no actual room for shift and for change. And so the Tower card comes in, just like the Panther card comes in, to essentially wreak havoc, right? To break away the foundation, to break away everything that was built in order to initiate change, right? It's actually, I think, in my opinion, a really, really great card. It's also a card of Scorpio, right? Sometimes it's a card of Aries as well. And, picking up earlier about that whole Pisces thing, I think that I said that you have a placement in Pisces or your partner has a placement in Pisces. It feels like there's a lot of watery energy going on now, right? We have the fish here, we have the starfish here. And I mentioned Scorpio earlier because Scorpio is technically an honorary fire sign because they're very passionate and very driven and very committed. And Scorpio is a water sign. So it feels like there's a lot of watery energy in this connection. Very emotional, very emotional. Okay. Starfish. Let's go for it. I've had the starfish come out a couple times this round. And it feels, honestly, I feel like every time the starfish has come out, it's felt very positive. Beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? It is so funny. When I was reading this card, I realized that the starfish, I believe, came up in your last spread, Gemini. If I'm correct, I believe the starfish came up in your placement, just like that. So we're getting the same card for both August and September for Gemini. How odd is that? I'm getting in this connection, I'm getting beautiful, 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 physical beauty, right? But it's also in an emotional state. So whatever this connection might be with whoever you're inquiring about, you might find yourself very physically attracted to this person or vice versa. Or you might find yourself very emotionally attracted to this person and very vice versa. I'm just kind of getting the impression that you're kind of spinning around and around and around and around and around and around in your mind because we haven't seen eye to eye on something. And essentially this person's kind of coming in to, I think, pounce on you, wow, in like a sexual manner, LOL. Yeah, it feels very sexual. This relationship feels very, very sexual. And it feels like almost like they're trying to, right? When we were talking about Panther, we were talking about stagnancy. And even though there's a lot of movement in the fish, right? There's a lot of stagnancy as well, right? The fact that we are constantly moving is stagnant in of itself. So I have a feeling the Panther is really here to kind of pounce and really like ground you, right? It feels like it's like almost trying to take you out of your headspace, trying to take you out of that movement, trying to help you see things for what they are, right? There's kind of this energy of like asking you to stop, like stop overthinking, stop overthinking. That's the impression that I'm getting. I feel like that resonated with someone. I feel like I said stop overthinking, and I feel like a couple of you were like, whoa, that's what it feels like. Okay, elk. Let's read the elk. Elk, again, flip to it. You can't make this shit up. Elk, stable, resilient, headstrong, the father. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can be inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. I really get that this is your partner, Gemini. I really get this is your partner. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. Remember, even though cards have masculine and feminine forms, that doesn't necessarily mean their gender is male or female. Keep that in mind. This means it provides underlying support and stability among life's many changes, right? Talking about support, talking about stability in life's many changes. And remember, what does the panther represent? It represents change, right? And what is it changing? It's changing, essentially. It's changing this overthinking behavior that you're experiencing, right? It's taking it to a more stable and secure place. Or in the words of the book, it's the underlying support and stability for your overthinking, for this heavy mental cognition that's occurring, right? And it feels very stable. You know, this panther card can look a little intense, right? It looks like it's raining. It looks like it's a thunderstorm. He's got fucking green and yellow eyes. His mouth is open. Looks like he's going to kill you. It can feel intense. It can feel aggressive. But honestly, it's merely here to shake you up, right? It's merely here to shake you out of your habits. When I think this is more accurate of the energy of your partner, right? It feels like someone who is very stable and very secure and knows where they're going, right? That's interesting. Let's pull some traditional tarot cards. We'll kind of clarify what's on the board, and we will call it. Meanwhile, I'm going to have a sip of wine. Beautiful, rosé. Okay, let's do it. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. For Okay. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Tell me about Gemini. Gemini for September of 2020. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. These cards are shuffling very smoothly, and I feel like it's honestly smooth has something to do with your reading. Smooth. Smooth. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Tell me about Gemini for September of 2020. Okay, I just had the Empress pop out. Sign of Libra. Feminine, very feminine too. Talking about the masculine energy of the elk, right? Talking what appears to be the masculine energy of the panther partially suggests that Libra, right? The Libra or Taurus is the feminine energy of what you are experiencing, right? Okay. We're still going to put this up here, though. Tell me the current situation for Gemini. Current situation for Gemini. 3 of Swords. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tell me about the current situation for Gemini's partner. Current situation for Gemini's partner. Tower. Holy shit. Did I not call it? Gemini, did I not call it? What did I say? I said the panther is very reminiscent of the tower, and what appears the tower in reverse. Again, you cannot make this shit up. That is so wild for those to appear. This is very odd. Okay, let's keep going. Wow, that like literally put me on edge. Tell me about the past connection of the relationship. The past connection, the Chariot, again, sign of Cancer. Remember I picked up on all this water energy? We got 2 cards of water on the board. Tell me about their current connection, Justice in reverse. Again, we could be dealing with a Libra because we both have Libra placements. And tell me about their future connection. The King of Rods in reverse. Okay. This is a lot. Gemini, this connection, whoever this is resonating with, because I know that it is resonating with someone right now. This is very heavy energy. We pulled, again, 6 cards. We pulled 1, 2, 3, 4. We pulled 4 major arcana out of 6 cards. Means heavy shifts in energy. We're going to kind of start at the beginning. Or, you know what? No, because we've been kind of doing this. We have the Empress. We have the Tower in reverse. We have the Chariot. And we have Justice, right? The Empress can be Libra, can be Taurus. The Tower can be Scorpio, can be Aries. The Chariot is very Cancerian. And we have Justice, which is very Libra as well, right? So we really have 2 placements of Libra. So you might be dealing with a Libra, you might have Libra in your chart, or you might have any of those signs in your chart or your partner's chart. Let's kind of put shifted them all around. Here we go. That's better. Wow, I can't believe that tower came up. That's wild. Okay, we have the 3 of Swords here, right? 3 of Swords is really a card about, it's a card of heartbreak. This card is always very interesting to me because when I think of heartbreak, right, I think of it as an emotion, right? I think heartbreak is an emotion that we experience. And because emotions are directly related to cups and cups are directly related to water, I would think it would be more like watery energy, right? Which is very akin to the fish, right? But the fact that it's not a card of emotions, rather, as it's a card of like intellect, right? And cognition, because intellect and cognition are sword energy, and sword energy is air energy, just like Gemini, right? So there's this really weird dichotomy of it being not only something we experience in like a mental headspace, right? But it's also experienced in an emotional heart space as well. This card is very interesting to me. Again, it does talk a lot about heartbreak. It does talk a lot about, I wanted to say distress just now, like mental pain. But there's this act of heartbreak here, and it has you moving, and I feel like it's kind of this energy of being stuck in your head, right? We're stuck in our head over some sort of heartbreak, and I partially feel like this heartbreak has happened in the past, but you're still experiencing it. It's more so the fact that like old wounds are being triggered, like old wounds are coming up, and we're kind of getting in our head about all of these old wounds that have kind of come up, and that's kind of really like not allowing us to see this person for who they truly are, even though that we are like physically attracted to them, even though we are romantically attracted to them, even though we are emotionally attracted to them, right? We're very much stuck in our head, Gemini. I do have a feeling you're dealing with a Scorpio here. It's very Scorpionic. Again, I don't even know why I need to explain the tower because we already explained it. But essentially, right, we're building this giant structure. We're building this giant tower, and it's experiencing lightning and fire and waves, right? This could even be like a fucking tornado for all you know. It's essentially experiencing all of these natural disasters that's going to bring this tower down, right? It's all of this foundation that we've kind of built and built and built for ourselves, and it's being triggered, it's being changed, right? And all that's going to topple down. But it topples down for the right reasons. Because remember, this tower is reminiscent of stagnant energy, right? It feels that whatever you are experiencing has been very stagnant. Feels like you've been experiencing this energy for a while. Feels like you've been very heartbroken. It feels like you've been very much in your head, and it feels like it's on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, right? And it feels like this person is kind of coming in to really shake up that energy, coming in to shake it up. And this tower came up in reverse, which usually is an indicator to me that, you know, when the tower is in reverse, we attempt to hold the tower up, right? When it's upright, we're allowing it to fall. We're allowing it to come down, right? We're allowing it to be kind of spontaneous, right? But when it's in reverse, it's kind of this act of like attempting to like, I'm being shown a house, like a physical house that's on fire, that someone's attempting to literally go up to it and like push it and like hold it up and hold it from collapsing. That's very much the energy of the tower in reverse, right? Which I feel is your energy. It feels like your energy. It feels like you are trying to prevent, honestly, this kind of like, it's almost like you want to experience the heartbreak. Huh. I feel like you want to experience this heartbreak because I'm kind of getting the impression that it's like, if you heal from this heartbreak, if you stop this repetitive cycle, it feels like, how will I know if I'm going to get hurt in the future? You know what I mean? It feels like, almost like, this is very interesting. It feels like you really want to experience this pain, like this emotional and mental pain, and you want to keep it with you, either because you're kind of still stuck in the past, or because it's very much an energy of, like, I feel like if you were to enter a new relationship, you don't want to get hurt again. That's it. That's why it's coming through. It's like I'm already hurt, so because I'm already hurt, I can't get hurt again, is how it feels. But if you were to heal from this, essentially, and get into a new relationship, you're like, wow, I can experience pain again. You know what I mean? It's like why heal when I don't have to heal and I don't have to experience pain again? It's like it's really weird mentally. It's like I feel like you're in a really weird space mentally. And it's very, like, again, mental and very emotional, as is this whole connection. And you're probably dealing with a Scorpio. In your past connection, we have the Chariot here, right, which really talks about forward momentum, forward progress, forward movement. Whatever this relationship is, it kind of feels like, I'm really not getting this to be where you're coming from, but it does kind of feel like whatever this connection is, really, like, the spark was hit, it picked up, and it went forward and progressed. It feels like it was a very, like, this kind of like winded energy. Like it was very fast. Like, sorry guys, my camera memory died, so we're gonna kind of finish it up. Sorry about that. But whatever this past connection was, it kind of feels like it was very fast, very sudden. It kind of went somewhere very fast, is how it feels. Then in your current connection, we have Justice in reverse, which really talks about a lack of balance here. It really talks about something not being in balance. Again, we have the Empress here. I really think there's some sort of Scorpio placement. I really think there's some sort of Libra placement in this. Again, maybe Cancer, Pisces as well. But it does feel like there's a lack of balance in this connection, and I really think it's coming from you. I really think it might be about seeing eye to eye, seeing someone else's perspective, right? But it really has a lot to do with kind of bringing you into your own energy, right? I feel like you, Gemini, are out of balance. I feel like you are very much in your head, very much kind of suffering mentally and emotionally from some sort of heartbreak. And again, it's playing on repeat. And I feel like that's the energy of you kind of being out of balance. But I feel like, again, in order to really reverse this card, like reverse justice, right? We're going to kind of experience this pouncing energy, right? This tower energy, really of toppling all of that over, which is why I really like it. I really like it. It feels good. It feels necessary. And then in the future outcome, we have the King of Rods, right? Which again is very mature. Do have a king here. It could be your Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. We have 2 cards of Aries on the board, right? But we do have a king here, and it's a fire sign. Could be you. I'm really not getting the impression that it's you, but it could be your partner as well. King of Rods upright, right, is, out of the suits, you have the king and queen of cups, of swords, of rods, and of pentacles. Wow, I'm losing my damn mind. Essentially, the pentacles and the cups, king and queen, are the ones that are committed, right? And the swords and the rods are the ones that are not committed. And generally, a king of rods is very passionate, very energetic, very usually very, very physically attractive. They're go-getters. They look at how he's look at like this bird on his crown, look at his eyes, and do you feel like his like gaze is almost like laser focused, like laser beam, like looking forward, looking ahead, looking towards what he wants to create, what he wants to produce, right? It's very much a driven energy that people are very attracted to. I have a feeling this is more so your partner rather than yourself. And because he's kind of upside down, right? He's in reverse. He kind of loses that focus. He really loses that that intent and that drive, right? And it kind of makes him sometimes a little angry, sometimes a little bit aggressive. I'm really not sensing that. I'm kind of sensing almost like a loss of passion here, or a loss of like energy, or a little bit of like a sluggish energy when it kind of comes to this connection. It might be because that this person is seeing you in your head and seeing you kind of being emotionally and mentally wounded from some sort of past trauma that you're kind of replaying. And they're here to kind of shake that energy up. They're here to help you out of that energy. But they almost too might like almost be losing interest or losing investment because they're kind of watching you in this kind of not necessarily dark place, but kind of like repetitive place, kind of obsessive. Like there's definitely like an obsessive quality about this too. So it feels like someone's kind of losing interest, but that doesn't mean that interest can't be turned around, right? Because we have the power to rotate these minor arcana, right? We cannot, oh, see, I had Justice face up. That's interesting. We do not have the ability to flip our major arcana. We do not have the ability to do that. Cannot be done. Major arcana are more life events that we experience that are more fated, right? We do have the ability to really flip these minor arcana upside down, right? To kind of see things from a different perspective. And when we see things from a different perspective, then he's actually focused. Then he actually has intent. Then he actually has passion, right? We have the ability to do that. But part of me is feeling that this person is kind of losing interest because you have some healing to do, essentially. And they're kind of, at the same time, they're kind of helping you through this healing, but by helping you through this healing, they're also losing interest, is kind of how it feels to me, Gemini. And then In your overall connection, we have the Empress, right? And the Empress is, again, a card of Libra. I keep wanting to say Libra. It's very much a divine feminine, and it has a lot to do with like motherhood and compassion and caring, right? And dedication, and kind of, it's all about the seeds that we sow, right? We plant the seeds, we water them, we give them sunlight, we tend to them, we watch them grow, and when they're ready to be harvested, they harvest. I have a feeling that this is more of an outcome. I have a feeling that almost like I'm seeing it as an incentive. An incentive is really interesting. It feels like this could be an incentive if you heal, right? If we heal, if we kind of go through this process of really kind of tackling this mental and emotional burden, kind of tackling this very like repetitive mental cycle, and kind of allowing this person to shake us up, allowing us to shake us up out of our comfort zone, and kind of heal and undergoing that process, we could experience a lot coming in for us, is the energy that I'm getting. Like there could be a lot of abundance on the board for you, but only if we kind of make it through this dark tunnel is how it feels. This is a very, very interesting reading. Gemini, you got a lot going on. If none of this resonated with you, I will tell you this much, is that I know you have a lot going on. But thank you so much for checking out your September 2020 love and relationship reading. And I will see you next month. Thanks, guys. Bye.